Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Monday. Here we are, and we have an Instagram Live today with Oliver Tree, thanks to Bud Light. So hang out. We are really excited about this one. We had Oliver Tree at 97X Barbecue. That was 2019, and that's kind of where we first got to know him, and we're just really excited to talk to him today because he just dropped his album on Friday, so we're going to chat about all of that. So go ahead and throw some comments up as we get going. He should be joining us any minute. How's everyone surviving the quarantine situation? I say quarantine, I guess we're not doing that anymore. It's more just like 6 feet apart situation. Hope you all are doing well, wearing your masks, all the things. All the fan accounts are here. I see it. Oliver Tree Brazil, Oliver Scootree, I love it. Scooter Die. This is great. I'm really excited. I watched the live stream scooter ride, which was pretty intense. I think that's the best way to say that. This is so exciting. I know. What's up? My name's Turbo. Everybody joining. This is really great. So yeah, like I said, feel free to throw up some comments as we go. And Oliver should be joining us any minute. Alrighty, I think this is this. I think it's happening. Let's see. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little bit scratched up. I had a small couple hairline fractures in my radius bone here in my wrist, and I actually broke a couple bones in my ankle. So I've been a bit thrown out of it, but I'm doing all right. I'm still hanging in there. I don't know if you saw, I rode the world's biggest scooter. I broke the world record on Friday, but there was a bit of wind that took me down at the ending, and I had a bit of a spill. Do you get a chance to see that?
I did watch it.
Well, thank you for checking it out.
It was it was intense. I don't think I would have attempted such a task. What were you thinking as you because you hit the finish line, and then as it started to go, were you just like,
well,
man.
I knew it was going over. At a certain point, you can feel when you're about to fall over, you're about to topple over, and I really just tried to put my arm out to try to save my fall, but unfortunately, I do not have metal bones in my arm, so it was a bit of technically speaking, the odds were against me.
Yeah, I guess so, but still an amazing accomplishment. So do you get the Guinness World Record credit?
I do, yeah. I was able to actually make it the length of the course. The crash was at technically the finish line, which makes me still the world record holder.
That's awesome. And to mark such an exciting day for you, because Ugly is Beautiful is out. And now scooter riding, or I guess scooter freestyling, that was kind of a big part of the way your career started.
Yes.
What was that story like? Just because I know there's some people who may not know the connection and what it means to you.
So for those of you who are not familiar, I grew up in the professional freestyle scooter circuit. I did freestyle, big air jumping, big air trick contests. When I was a sophomore in high school, I actually joined the junior syndicate team, and I signed my first scooter team. So I was working professionally in high school as a scooter rider, and I was competing I started in the semi-pro circuit and moved my way up to the pro circuit. And right around my second season in the pro circuit, there was a semifinal run at one of the biggest junior elite contests. And I was going down it was a 35-foot roll-in, and I'm coming down going about, I would say, about 35 miles an hour. Approximately, that's where the scooter maxes out. So I was going about max speed, and out of nowhere, this little pebble showed up, and I just hit this thing. I went flying. I put both my arms out, broke both my wrists, my joint that connects my thumb to my hand. I don't know if you can see, there's a little scar there still. But basically, what happened was, after I had that crash, I couldn't compete anymore. My sponsors had to drop me. I was dropped off the team. So I had to start, I had to go back to the drawing board and look at everything and realize, this is not a safe, there's no longevity in scootering. It's not a safe career choice. I need something that has, clearly something that has more longevity for long-term sake. So I've kind of made my way over to music because of that. In a lot of ways, you know, it was what I like to call divine intervention, which is when the Holy Spirit basically changes the trajectory of your life. And I'm not a religious man, but I will say this. My entire life's path was changed. That one contest, that one run, final run, trying to get that fucking championship, you know, and here we are 7 years later and, you know, still kind of, you know, haven't made as much progress as one would have hoped, but, you know, we are where we are, you know, and we got to accept that.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, you had a sold out tour last year and we had you at 97X Barbecue, and
Thanks for having me.
I absolutely love that you even still bring the scooter on stage. So I think you're kind of the best of both worlds here because you get to introduce people to a sport they may not know about and play awesome music, which we love.
Did you see my 360 on the scooter?
I did. Yep.
That one gets the crowd going crazy. Every time I bust that thing out and the kids, they lose their shit. It's wild.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's really expecting it, especially if they're at a festival and they haven't seen you before or met you. I think it's definitely like hypes everybody up.
Well, thank you for checking it out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So on Friday when you dropped the album, I know you had already done the scooter ride. Was there anything else you did that day to kind of celebrate that release? Because I know it's really been a crazy buildup and then dealing with all this other stuff going on in the world and trying to get an album out. What was that day like for you?
Well, I spent the bulk of the day at the hospital. I actually did the scooter challenge. Was the world record holding live stream took place, I believe around 9 or something. And I think by around 9:30, 9:45, I was being taken to the hospital. And I spent the next, I would say, I don't know, 12 hours, whatever. I was in the hospital till 6 a.m. So I spent the entire day. I had a day planned where I was going to have a party with all my friends. We were going to bring champagne out and have a bit of a celebration. But what ended up happening was I stayed in the fucking hospital till 6 a.m. They released me. I got about 2 hours of sleep, and then I had to do a podcast interview. And it was one of the rougher. That morning was rough. I'll say that. That was supposed to be a really big moment in my career, and it ended up being what ultimately felt like another failure.
Well, I don't think it was a failure. I think that this is just, I mean, we love the album. We love what you're doing. It's been in the works for so long. I mean, we loved Hurt. We're loving Let Me Down. I think you've got some amazing work. And now it's such a weird time to be releasing music because of everyone's situation. But it's also a great time because I think people want to find content. They want to watch scooter rides and they want to listen to new music. And you know, I think that it couldn't be a better time for you to be doing this.
Yeah, it's probably the worst time to ever release an album at this point in time. As far as being able to get the album out there, you got to promote it through performing. And we just spent the last 3 years putting on this show that we had designed and we're developing into something that was truly remarkable, and it's been completely shut down. So that's been obviously a major buzzkill. But, you know, at the end of the day, it does give us the chance to be able to interact with the audience in new ways and be able to try to do some new things like breaking world records and things like that that can be, you know, equally, if not even more interesting than going to see some guys strumming on a guitar.
Yeah, I think we've all had to get really creative. I mean, we didn't do Instagram Live interviews ever really before all of this happened. So watching artists like you kind of pivot and figure out this weird time, it's exciting, and I think we'll all get through it. Eventually we'll have shows again. Eventually
we'll see. I've talked with agents who said there may never be live music shows ever again, and that's just something from the higher ups that I've been passed along. So we're not sure, but I'm hoping that that's a lie.
Yeah, we are too. It's kind of a big part of our thing here is putting on festivals.
Yeah.
But we'll get through it, I'm sure. But I do have some questions that were submitted. If you have a minute to finish with those from the peeps. Allison in Plant City asked, "What song from Ugly Is Beautiful are you most proud of?"
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, it's like picking your children. It's hard to pick your favorite child, you know. And to tell you the truth, since a lot of the children were just born on Friday, it's kind of hard for me to be able to say which one I like the most because I haven't got to be able to see how they've grown up. You know, some of them might be sweet at the start and then get spoiled later down the line. So we're going to have to hold off on that answer. But I will say this, the song that took me the most time to make was 1993. I made that thing so many fucking times, and the whole record, you know, it ultimately was pushed back time after time because it took me so many times to get this song right. So I can't really say much more than that. There was some legal issues, copyright infringement type things, and I had to do workarounds, and it ended up being something that made me hate the song. But I love the song, you know. It just took me like 10 years to try to get it right.
Wow, that's crazy.
It wasn't 10 years. It was 5 years to be clear, but it was the longest one. I started that in 2014, I believe, and I finished the mix last year.
Wow. Well, worth it. Definitely worth it.
Thank you.
What other, from Daniel and Seminole, do you have any other live streamed events or concerts planned or that you hope to do?
That's up to be determined. We'll see. I'm thinking about the idea of maybe filming a live concert of the album since we can't tour it. But ultimately, my new focus is I'm trying to ride the world's biggest scooter across America. I'm trying to go from New York to Los Angeles. So I'm not sure if that will be a live stream event because it could take me a matter of months, but I do plan to make a documentary about the process.
Well, that's cool. Maybe you could have like a whole scooter gang of fans behind you. I mean, there's a lot of options there.
Yeah, I think I could bust out the scooter army. And if you guys are watching this, I love you guys.
From Michaela in St. Pete, when we were all locked down and we were quarantining, what was like your go-to quarantine snack?
It's a great question as well. I've been doing, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with fried bacon. And you have to deep fry the bacon. It's a very specific type of bacon where you actually fry the bacon first normally, and then you deep fry the bacon. And then you put it in the sandwich, and then you deep fry the entire sandwich. And that's something that I have been kind of working on the recipe and perfecting it the last, 4 or 5 months of quarantine. But I think I have it at a point where it's down to perfection.
I think I could get down with that. I think as many times you can deep fry something, I'm a fan of it. Sounds great.
That's how I feel. I feel the same way.
All right. From Matt and Brandon, how did you stay creative during lockdown?
I look internally for inspiration. I try to just keep myself busy. If you're not creating stuff, what are you doing? Like if you're really a creator and you're trying to be creative, you need to just go and tinker and get in the sandbox and go play. You got all the time in the world. Go explore, just see what happens, but being stuck with something like the idea of writer's block to me is absurd because I do so many different types of art that if I get bored writing music, I'm going to switch and work on a movie idea. I'm going to work on developing out some kind of skit. I'm going to go work on an art piece, make some kind of visual, hyper surrealist illustration. Whatever it is, you just got to keep yourself busy. If you're bored and you keep yourself in a place where you think you have writer's block, just go switch to a different art form. Stop. You're getting bored. Just go. Do something else. You can come back in a month, 2 months, whatever.
I will say, like, just looking at even your Instagram feed and all of the different things you do, it is like its own art form. You have some really creative posts and different things you do, like just what you did today, or I think it was with all the fire. It's like every time I open up your Instagram or see what you're doing, it's so unique. Nobody else is doing it. And I really think that it's going to work for you. And I think you're going to take the biggest scooter across the country and we'll be there to watch it.
I appreciate your support. Thank you. That means the world.
So what do you think your next big goal is for 2020 amongst all of the craziness and everything going on? What would you say Oliver Tree's next big goal is?
I'm trying to take this scooter not only from New York to Los Angeles, but I'm trying to take this thing global. I am looking for sponsors. If anybody wants to help invest, we have a website called theworldsbiggestscooter.com, and you can hit the donate button, and we're looking for private investors. I think that's all the time we have here. I have another interview shortly, but I want to thank you so much. I'm very grateful. And anybody who didn't get a chance to see it, I broke the record for the world's biggest scooter, and I did crash it, and there's a video on my YouTube. You can go watch it right now.
Awesome. Get those streams up. We will get our army behind it as well. Thank you so much, Oliver, for talking to us today.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Have a great day.
All right. That was amazing. I'm so glad you guys could be a part of that and watch it. I'm trying to see some of your comments now. Lots of Scooter Army stuff. Thanks again to Bud Light for doing these Instagram lives and for you guys for watching. I'm sure we will have more to announce for you soon because lots of artists want to talk to you because it's the time to talk to you through Instagram Live. That's what we do now. So I totally forgot to show him this, so I'm going to show you guys now, but this is the at 97X Barbecue backstage. We had everyone all the bands make Play-Doh characters of themselves, and this was Oliver Trees. So we'll end on that note. Bye, guys.